Very good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the current affairs classes. I hope you all are doing well. Let's resume our discussion. So today I'll be taking the most important and relevant questions from 11th November news analysis. Okay. And now we will be shifting to the old format as well. So there's a change. We are going to have most important MCQs in a week for the entire weekly current affairs. Okay. And then regularly the content or the news articles will be used for the classes so that you get to know both of these patterns, right? Because a lot of you were requesting to switch to the old format. You found it more relevant. That's okay. So we are going to have a combination of it, as I told you, okay? From the further classes onwards, we will have discussion on the most important news articles as well. Plus weekly most important questions for the weekly current affairs will be held in the MCQ format. So this is going to be there. So today we are going to discuss this thing on the Q&A format only. So let's begin with the first question. And I hope I'm clearly audible, right? First question in front of you. According to the Ministry of New and Renewable Energies latest data. So there is the latest data from Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Which of the following is the leading state in renewable energy capacity? You see exactly these kind of questions recently were asked. You see RBI Grade B phase 1 or IRDAI phase 1 examination, right? So the purpose of discussing these questions is to give you a hint that in this format you have to cram up the data. All right, very good morning. Tell me, so according to this latest data, which of the following states is the leading state in renewable energy capacity, installed renewable energy capacity, leading state? Quickly tell me the answer. Yes, any answers? Gujarat, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh? So the right answer here is, Rajasthan. B is the right option. Okay, Rajasthan. Not A, B is the correct option here. Rajasthan is the leading state in terms of renewable energy capacity. Remember that, okay? B is the correct answer. You can see the news here. So this is the latest data from ministry. And according to it, you can remember these data as well. India's total renewable energy installed capacity at present was 203.18 gigawatts. If you see the leading states in renewable energy capacity, so the leading state is Rajasthan and then followed by Gujarat. Okay, so Gujarat comes at second place. Remember all these four names. First, second, third, fourth. Rajasthan, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Rajasthan, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. All right. So when you go through this news, go through it comprehensively. Remember this thing. Next question. According to the report by Institute for Energy Economics and Financial Analysis, Institute for Energy Economics and Financial Analysis and JMK Research and Analytics, India's exports of solar photovoltaic products, so PV products, you know, for transiting to renewable energy capacity, solar power capacity enhancement is a key step, right? You cannot miss upon solar power installation. For that, you need PV technology, which is photovoltaic products. According to this data, India's exports of these solar photovoltaic products, they have surged 23 times to $2 billion in the last 2 years. So last 2 years, our PV product exports, they have expanded substantially, right? Now this question, you have one important figure in this question itself, which is 23 times $2 billion it has reached. This is again important in itself. Now you have to tell me, if our exports have surged in the last 2 years, which country stands to be the most favorable destination for such exports? Okay, which country has emerged as the key market for such exports? To which country we have exported these solar photovoltaic products the most? This is the question. Tell me. Yes. Which of these countries India has exported these solar photovoltaic products the most? The correct answer is US. D is the right answer here. Remember, US is the key country for such exports, or for export of such products. USA is the right answer here. D. Now you see, this data is also important. And then US has emerged as key market for Indian solar PV exports or photovoltaic product exports with more than 97% share. More than 97% share of what all these products India has exported to comes from US, right? So remember this name. Also, the report has estimated that this Indian solar PV manufacturers, this capacity will be 28 gigawatts in the financial year 2025 and 35 gigawatts in 2026. So you can remember these two data as well. This capacity is going to be 28 gigawatts in financial year 2025 and 35 gigawatts in 2026. So go through this news carefully in the content. Next question. Which company has recently been ranked as world's most sustainable aluminium company for the 5th consecutive year in 2024 S&P Global Corporate Sustainability Assessment? Which company has been ranked as most sustainable aluminium company for consecutively 5th time? That means this company has continuously tried to achieve its target of net zero emission, right? So producing as well as keeping the idea of sustainable development in mind. Which company is it? Tell me. Hindalco Industries, Reliance, Kaiser Aluminium, Aluminium Corporation of China, or none of the above? Any answers? So the right answer here is Hindalco Industries. Okay, A is the correct option. Remember, Hindalco Industries has been ranked as the most sustainable aluminium company. Okay. And this Hindalco Industries is an arm of the Aditya Birla Group. Next question. RBI and SEBI recently have issued new guidelines for registration of certain foreign portfolio investors. If you see in the 5-minute finance series, I have made a video on this topic. So there is a new guideline by RBI plus SEBI on the FPI, foreign portfolio investors. What is it? That if you breach the 10% criteria, you can hold 10% of the paid up equity capital, right? If you breach that criteria, you have to reclassify your investment either as FDI, or you have to sell out those stakes or say divest it, right? Sell out your shares, etc. So you have two options, and you have to do this within how many days? This is the question. So I have made a separate video onto this. You can go and watch that video, new FPI rules. Okay, the thumbnail would be new rules on FPI. Go and watch it. You will be able to understand the entire news. So tell me, RBI and SEBI have recently issued new guidelines for registration of certain foreign portfolio investors. The new rules provide a window of how many days from the settlement of trade to divest holding or reclassify them as FDI for surpassing the stipulated threshold, as I have discussed with you. How many days? First you give me the answer, then I'll quickly try to make you understand this news as well. 6 days, 2 days, 3 days? Very good. 5 days is the right answer. 5 days. Okay. This is 5 days. Now what is this news? Just try to understand, and please go and watch that video as well. the FPI, foreign portfolio investors, those who invest in your financial market securities, they can hold only, okay, so we have this thing, right? If you see, under the FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act, FPIs are allowed to hold up to only 10% of a company's total paid up equity capital. Now, if you go beyond that 10%, you have two options according to this new rule. You have two options in this case. Okay. If you go more than 10%, then you have two options. Either you divest your investment, that means you sell out that in the market, or you reclassify it as FDI, foreign direct investment, because generally more than 10% of stake has to be FDI, isn't it? And when you reclassify it as FDI, that comes under more stricter regulation and guidelines. Okay, so this is the thing, and to do this 5 days time period will be there. I hope this is clear, everyone. Now moving back to the content. So yes, 5 days time will be provided, 5 days. Okay, next question. SEBI has also proposed to make it mandatory for all listed entities, all the listed entities which are there out in the market. SEBI has proposed it. Remember, not yet made it mandatory, but recently proposed that it is going to make it mandatory for all the listed entities to disclose the outcome of their meetings of the board of directors held to discuss such price sensitive information within how many days of their closure. That means any listed entity has a meeting of the board of directors, you have to disclose whatever discussion was there on any price sensitive information, any information which is there which is price sensitive, which can affect the market, right? So to make this process more transparent enough, this step is going to be there. It is going to be mandatory for such board of directors to disclose any discussion held in that meeting regarding any price sensitive information. So the question is, how many days, within how many days of closure of that meeting? Tell me. Within how many days of their closure of the meeting they have to disclose this thing? Any answers? Anyone? 45, 50, 60, 30 or 90 days? So the right answer here is option D, 30 days. Okay, within 30 days of closure of such meeting. 30 days is the correct answer. Remember that. It has proposed to make it mandatory for the listed companies to disclose such price sensitive information within 30. Okay, just a second. 30 minutes is not days, 30 minutes of their closure. Okay, sorry, not days. Sorry for that, not days, 30 minutes of their closure of the meeting. Okay, 30 minutes. So remember, within 30 minutes of closure of such meeting, they have to disclose the price sensitive information, not days, 30 minutes. Keep it in mind. Now, why? What is the importance of this? Because you know what is UPSI, right? UPSI. What is UPSI stands for? Anyone? Tell me. UPSI stands for undisclosed price sensitive information. Any such information which is not publicly disclosed, which has the potential to affect the market substantially, right? So to eradicate such malpractices where you have this insider information, insider trading kind of activities which are not allowed, which are illegal, right? Make it more transparent, these steps are taken by SEBI. So remember, within 30 minutes of the closure of the meeting, you have to disclose your discussion on such price sensitive information. Remember that, 30 minutes. Then question number 6. Which media house has won the bid to make a 5-episode web series on RBI? Now this is going to be interesting. Recently, one media house has won this bid. It will be creating a web series, 5-episode web series on the functioning of the RBI. So it will make people aware on how RBI works, what are its core functions, etc. Tell me, which media house will be making a web series on RBI? Anyone? Any answers? Disney Star, Star India, Geo Star, Disney India, none of the above. Any answers, please? All right. So the correct answer here is Star India. B is the right option. Okay. So remember, Star India is going to make a web series on RBI, a 5-episode web series it will be. Yes, B is the correct answer, Star India. Okay. So we all will watch this out once it is released, because that is going to be very important, right? Now, next question. According to the latest data by Finance Ministry, so this is the data by Finance Ministry, public sector banks have shown strong performance in April-September quarter financial year 2025. PSBs, public sector banks, they have performed really well according to Finance Ministry. Now, their capital to risk weighted assets ratio stood at how much percentage in September 2024 against the regulatory requirement of 11.5? Tell me. Tell me the answer. Yes, anyone? All right. A, you are saying 16.43, 12.42, 15.43. No, but not A. The correct answer here is 15.43. Okay, 15.43. Tell me, what is the regulatory requirement? Is it 11.5% or 12%? What is the regulatory requirement for PSBs, minimum CRAR? Tell me. Regulatory requirement for minimum CRAR for PSBs. Is it 12% or 11.5? Any answers? Shreya, Virat, Girish? Okay, so you just remember that the CRAR, capital to risk weighted asset ratio of the public sector banks, it has improved to 15.43%. This is the fact. Remember that. Okay, 15.43%. Now for this, I want your answers. I will be waiting for your answers. Okay, or in the next class you will be telling me. Okay, as far as I remember, it should be 12%. I'll go and cross check it. All right. We'll confirm the minimum CRAR for PSBs. All right. As far as I remember, it should be 12%. But let's see. We will confirm the exact figure. All right. So you see, public sector banks have really performed well. And if you look at their aggregate business, it stood at 236.04 lakh crore rupees. And these are the other indicators. Global credit portfolio has also expanded. Then their deposit portfolio has also expanded. Okay. So just remember that. Now, next question. Consider the following statements. The upcoming visit to Guyana upcoming visit of Prime Minister to Guyana will be the first visit by Indian Prime Minister since 1968. The Prime Minister will also participate in the second CARICOM India Summit. Third says, President of Guyana, Dr. Mohammad Irfan Ali, visited India as the chief guest at the 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. You have to tell me which of the options are correct. Which of these options are correct? Which of these options are correct? One, two, three, all of the above or none of the above? Correct options, tell me quickly. Yes, anyone? So if you look at the first statement, that is correct. This upcoming visit of the Prime Minister to Guyana is going to be the first visit of Indian Prime Minister since 1968. Second, PM is also going to participate in the second CARICOM India Summit. That is also true. CARICOM is Caribbean community. Okay. So we are going to enhance our ties with the Caribbean islands or Caribbean nations, Caribbean community. So CARICOM stands for Caribbean community. Third says, President of Guyana has visited India as the chief guest of 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. Now we have this problem with 18th. This was 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. Yes, he did visit India, okay, but it is not 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, it is 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. So this one is incorrect, hence first and second only are correct. So your C stands to be the right option, 1 and 2 only. Okay. So you can look here. This is going to be the, and this is Nigeria visit as well. So you have one Nigeria visit as well, which is going to be first visit by a Prime Minister in Nigeria in 17 years. Then if you see about Guyana visit, this is going to be first visit by Indian Prime Minister since 1968. And then CARICOM member countries ke sath we are also going to discuss these issues. That is true. And remember that the Guyana president visited India on 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. 17th, not 18th. Okay. Next question. Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, FSSAI. FSSAI has recently asked all the e-commerce food business operators to adopt practices that ensure a minimum shelf life of. Now, this is also going to be very, very important fact for all the upcoming examinations. Recently, FSSAI has issued new guidelines asking all the e-commerce food business operators to adopt practices which will ensure a minimum shelf life of how many percentage or days before expiry at the time of delivery to the consumer. You have to adopt such practices that when you deliver the product to the consumer, it should have this much percentage or days of shelf life before expiry. Tell me the correct answer here. Yes, anyone? Any idea, any answers for this question? So the right answer here is 30% or 45 days. Okay, it should have 30% of shelf life before the expiry or at least 45 days of the shelf life for all e-commerce food business operators. So remember, 30% or 45 days is the new guideline. 30% or 45 days. All right, before the expiry at the time of delivery to the consumer. 30% or 45 days when you deliver the product to the customer. Next question. So RPF's Operations Satark is related to what? Recently RPF's operations have been in news. So Operations Satark of RPF belongs to which of these categories? Tell me. Operation Satark of RPF belongs to rescuing lost children, combating drug crimes, protecting passengers, curbing illegal goods transport, or empowering women passengers. Operation Satark is associated with which of these following objectives? Any answers, please? The right answer here is curbing illegal goods transport. D is the correct option. Okay, curbing illegal goods transport. So a lot of operations of RPF are there. Particularly if we talk about Operation Satark, it aims to reduce illegal goods transport. Okay, here we have a list of all these operations. You can remember them. So you have these operations and their objectives. Operation Nanne Farishte, rescuing lost children. Operation Jeevan Raksha, saving lives. Meri Saheli, empowering women passengers. Operation Uplabdh, cracking down on touts. Operation Narcos, reducing drug crimes. Then you have Operation Yatri Suraksha, protecting passengers. Operation Sanraksha, ensuring safety. Operation Seva, assisting those in need. And then you have Operation Satark, curbing illegal goods transport. Okay. Next question. Union Minister of Commerce and Industry has recently announced that a new campus of Indian Institute of Foreign Trade will be opened. New campus of Indian Institute of Foreign Trade is to be opened up at which of these following locations? Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. You know, this is a premier institute, a business school. So Indian Institute of Foreign Trade is going to be established where? New campus of Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. New campus has to be established where? London, Dubai, Kakinad, Kolkata, or Leh? Any answers? So the right answer here is Dubai. Remember, this new campus of India Institute of Foreign Trade is going to be established at Dubai. Dubai is the right answer. Next question. Question number 12. Which country is the guest of honor? Guest of honor at 43rd Sharjah International Book Fair. So Sharjah in UAE, 43rd International Book Fair 2024 में, which country will be the guest of honor? Tell me. Which country? Also, if you can tell me, Sharjah has been in news due to sports. Okay. Sharjah has been in news due to sports. So which event recently took place at Sharjah? We have covered this thing many number of times. I will be expecting answer on this question. Sharjah is in news due to some sports events. Also tell me, this International Book Fair 2024 at Sharjah, which country is the guest of honor? India, Algeria, Morocco, Philippines, or South Korea? The correct answer here is Morocco. Okay, C is the right answer. Morocco is the correct answer. Morocco is the guest of honor. Next question. Okay, before the next question, this is National Book Trust of India. It has showcased a prestigious replica of original handwritten constitution as well at the 43rd Sharjah International Book Fair. Remember that. And if you see the dates, 6 to 17 November, it has been conducted at UAE, Sharjah, of course. Guest of honor is Morocco. Guest of honor is Morocco. Next question. Niti AOG has recently launched the asset platform. Now this is going to be really important. Please remember this. Niti AOG has recently launched asset platform. You have to tell me what does this asset stands for. What is the full form of asset, which recently has been launched by Niti AOG, National Institute for Transforming India? India's premier think tank, Niti AOG, has recently launched this asset platform. What does asset stands for? Any answers, please? Question number 13. Give me your answers. A, B, C, D, E. Accelerating sustainable solutions for energy transition, adopting sustainable strategy for energy transition, etc. Though, okay, so asset platform stands for, I'm going to reveal the answer. You are telling me the answers? All right then. So please remember, accelerating sustainable solutions for energy transition. ASSET stands for accelerating sustainable solutions for energy transition. ASSET, asset platform. Accelerating sustainable solutions for energy transition. Now this is to provide a roadmap for transiting to sustainable energy solutions. So remember this full form, these kind of questions they ask you, and particularly any report, any scheme, any mission by Niti AOG becomes significant for all the examinations. Okay, so this is accelerating sustainable solutions for energy transition platform in collaboration with Ministry of Power and Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. It has been launched. Now this platform will be assisting in formulating state energy transition blueprints. It will be assisting all these states in energy transition to non-fossil fuel based energy installation and generation capacity. Okay, next question. So you have this species in news, Diclyopetra or Diclyoptera polymorpha, recently discovered in the Western Ghats. In the Western Ghats, they have been recently discovered. You have to tell me this name is related to which of the following species. Is it a new butterfly species or a plant species known for medicinal benefits, an invasive species, an indicator species, or a plant species which is fire resilient? Tell me. Diclyoptera polymorpha, recently discovered in the Western Ghats, is associated with which of the following categories? Any answers? So the correct answer here is, it is a plant species. Okay, it is a plant species which is fire resilient and dwell blooming. So it blooms 2 times and then it is fire resilient. Fire resilient does not mean that the plant does not get burned. Fire resilient means it does not act as a quick fuel to the fire. Getting my point? And also these terminologies should be clear to you. What is an invasive species? Invasive species like the water hyacinth. When introduced in India, invasive species is a species which takes over the entire ecosystem. Okay, it does not give space for the other species to sustain. It invades basically, like British invaded India. That's how. Okay, and then indicator species. Species, they indicate the ecosystem of the area. They give you the indication of what kind of species will be there, right? Then you have keystone species. So these are environmental terminologies. You should be remembering them. But remember this name. It is a plant species known for its fire resilient characteristics. Okay. And recently where it has been found in the Western Ghats. And it experiences burst of flowering triggered through grassland fires. Now this is peculiar about it. When you have grassland fires, this it has flowering, it blooms, right? So it also indicates the risk of fire, grassland fire. Next question. You have the Defense Space Agency inaugurated a first ever space exercise in New Delhi. Okay, on 11th November and will conclude on 13th November. Which space exercise is this? So we have first ever space exercise. We cover a lot of defense exercises, bilateral exercises, multilateral exercises, right? But this is first such a space exercise. You have to tell me the name of this. From 11th to 13th November. Which space exercise has recently been inaugurated by the Defense Space Agency? Question number 15. Any answers, please? Yes, anyone? So the correct answer is Antariksh Abhyas 2024. Okay, Antariksh Abhyas. A is the right answer. You can see Antariksh Abhyas 2024. Remember this name. All right. Antariksh Abhyas 2024. Why? This is going to provide a broader understanding of the space-based assets and services. What all are these space-based assets for us? What space-based service do we provide? So comprehensive understanding of this is the purpose of the inauguration of this exercise. Okay. Next question. Question number 16. World Intellectual Property Organization WIPO has published the World Intellectual Property Indicators Report 2024. This is again going to be very, very significant. Okay. Go through this news religiously in your content. Tell me, according to this ranking by WIPO, World Intellectual Property Indicators Report 2024, what is India's rank or position in terms of patents? So you have different category of intellectual property rights, right? Patent is one of them. What is India's rank in terms of patent according to this report? India's rank in terms of patents. 7th, 4th, 6th, 5th or 10th. What is India's rank in patents? Tell me. So the correct answer here is 6th. Okay. Remember, 6th rank. In patents, India is ranked 6th globally. So you have this thing. India has secured a spot in the global top 10 for all three major intellectual property rights. Remember this. It really becomes important for all the examinations, right? So India is now in top 10 countries in all these three categories of intellectual property rights. If you look at the first category, which is patent, India's rank is 6th. Okay. If you see trademarks, which we have, trademarks में India की rank is 4th, industrial designs में India की rank is 10th. So patents 6th rank, trademarks 4th rank, industrial designs 10th rank. And we are in top 10 in terms of these rankings. Remember that. Next question. Question number 17. Which edition of All India Kalidas Samaroh was recently inaugurated at Ujjain in Madhya Pradesh? Which edition of All India Kalidas Samaroh recently inaugurated at Ujjain, Madhya Pradesh? 66th, 65th, 64th, 7th or 8th? Question number 17. Any answers? So the correct answer here is 66th edition it was. Okay, 66th edition. And a lot of awards were also given. You can go through the list. 66th edition. A total of 8 scholars were honored in 4 genres here. Okay, so 8 scholars were awarded for their work. And if you look about this Kalidas Samman or Alankaran Samman, it is given by Madhya Pradesh government to recognize outstanding work of individuals in arts. Okay. Next question. Which of the following players has recently clinched the Chennai Grandmasters title 2024? Chennai Grandmasters title has been clinched by which of the following players? Arjun Erigesi, Arvind Chidambaram, Levin Aronian, D. Gukesh, none of the above. The correct answer here is B. Arvind Chidambaram has clinched the Chennai Grandmasters title 2024. Okay, remember that. Grandmaster Arvind Chidambaram has clinched the Chennai Grandmasters after an intense final against American Grandmaster Levin Aronian. Next, Shigeru Ishiba. This person is in news recently. Shigeru Ishiba. You have to tell me this person belongs to which of these following options. So, in news because of anti-slavery commissioner in Australia, or he or she is a prime minister of Caribbean country Haiti, newly appointed, then president of International Hockey Federation, or prime minister of Japan. Which of these factors are there for this person being in news? Shigeru Ishiba. Question number 19. Tell me the correct answer. Any guesses? So the right option here is D, Prime Minister of Japan. Okay, Prime Minister of Japan. Re-elected as country's Prime Minister or as Japan's Prime Minister, Shigeru Ishiba. Next and last question. Minister for Communications Jyotiraditya Scindia has recently inaugurated 25th meeting of South Asian Telecommunication Regulators Council, SATRC 25, 25th edition of SATRC, South Asian Telecommunication Regulators Council in New Delhi. Which of the following countries is not a part of this organization, SATRC? You have to tell me which of these countries is not a part of this SATRC, South Asian Telecommunication Regulators Council. Which country is not a member? Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, Bhutan or Mauritius? Yes, answers please. Question number 20. Which country is not a member of this group, SATRC, South Asian Telecommunications Regional Council? Sorry, Regulators Council. And remember, 25th edition of the meeting has been inaugurated. Place is New Delhi. Okay, the correct option here is Mauritius. You have 9 members. So Mauritius is the correct answer here because Mauritius is not a member of this group. You have Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, Bhutan, and then the list goes. So you have 9 South Asian countries: Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Islamic Republic of Iran, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, as well as Sri Lanka. These are the members. Okay. Also remember this name, Anil Kumar Lahoti, chairman of the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, TRAI, will be the chair of SATRC for the coming year. Remember this name as well. Now, what does this group does? It is trying to deliberate upon, it is trying to explore the collaborative options and efforts in telecom regulatory segment, right? So SATRC, remember these countries are there. Mauritius is not there, Maldives is there. And 25th edition of this meeting has been recently launched. Place is New Delhi. So these were the 20 questions we have had for 11th of November news analysis. I hope these were useful for you, and please read all these important segments in the content uploaded carefully. Okay. If you have any doubts from today's session, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll end this session here. Any doubts from today's class? So I have 2 questions for you for the next class. Before I start the next class, I will be asking you why Sharjah is in news. Exact answer you have to tell me. Which event took place in Sharjah recently? Which all sports events, right? First question. Second question, the minimum capital to risk weighted asset requirement for PSBs, for commercial banks, for NBFCs, all these categories. These 2 questions I am giving to you. You give me the answer of these questions in the next classes. All right? Everyone. So shall I wind up this class if you don't have any doubts? All right then. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next session. Till then, have a great day. Thank you.